Hey, this PoeticWhiz. Just as I predicted our WWDC 2022 happened, a little. I did say in this video, you're not going to get the VR headset. I let you there was no point in being hyped about it. Before I can tell you what I did like about this year's WWDC 2022, here are a few things you need to know. This year's WWDC should have been titled From the Horse Mouth. You'll know why by the end of this video. I'm a bit sad, as well a bit disappointed, just like any of you out there, with Apple. Finally, this year's WWDC was somewhat stale. I'm sad I have to say farewell to this beautiful device that had the most underrated feature of all time, 3D Touch. The device is still capable enough to run on iOS 16, in my opinion at least, since this is how good the iPhone's success is. I feel Apple not including this in the iPhone lineup for iOS 16 feels missed opportunity, for a couple of reasons, some of which should have been present in the iOS 15 itself, then have it on iOS 16. iOS 16 feels pretty much underplayed, just as iOS 15 had felt. Also, on the brighter side, iOS 16 feels much more wholesome. iOS has lost its charm in these few years. Luckily, due to Android 12 and Samsung's vision with One UI, Apple has finally addressed the elephant in the room, the lock screen, with the way iOS works for everyone. What I really like about iOS 16 is the lock screen customizability and its capabilities, as well as the live update within the lock screen. On the other hand, I feel these two features should have been presented on iOS 15 itself, then have it on iOS 16. I'm just being hopeful Apple gives us these two features as a software update on iOS 15, since this would work for me as well as some of you out there that do not want to get into iOS 16 immediately, or I feel it should be available in all iOS devices. Since Apple is all about privacy as well being mindful of the surroundings around us. Just to not get out of the way, I did like a few features they had addressed upon that feels necessary in my opinion. Now come to that one iOS 16 feature I'm personally happy to see, the med tracking. I feel in the long run this will be great not just for us but as well for the people in the healthcare, since it's walk of life. We all know by now we cannot use Apple Watch without owning an iPhone. Bravo to Apple for making things feel the opposite way than what we asked for. I'm not sure how many of you know this or no. You could always track your walk as well as other health features on your iPhone itself. Then Apple being now you do not need to own an Apple Watch. I feel Apple Watch should work on both iOS as well as Android than just be on iOS. As always, macOS has a few minor updates. The one I personally like is the ability to use your iPhone camera as an A-roll as well as a top-down shot. Not to forget, all this is done just using your MacBook. I really wish this feature is not limited to iOS. I wish this works on Windows as well. macOS Ventura feels more like Apple trying to bring some reality. The hype is not real. Like the Stage Manager, I feel the mission control is still more useful than the Stage Manager. I'm not sure how good this feature is, so it's nice to have. Other than that, macOS Ventura has nothing too excited to offer. Oh, did I forget to mention? Now we get a MacBook Air. I was probably laughing at myself when this was announced at WWDC 2022, especially after looking at the color Apple has gone with. In no way the color is bad, it just feels like my new laptop. We at times dream big. Somewhere down the line I had a MacBook Pro 16-inch or perhaps MacBook Pro 14-inch. Since I had a feeling it was time for me to move to Mac, since AdRock comes in clutch for video editing as well as for anything else. As well me owning an iPhone and an iPad for that matter. As well I'm no hardcore gamer in any way, so Mac would be just fine for me. So just like me dreaming big, I was fortunate enough to have the Mac Pro 14-inch with me while the WWDC 2022 event was taking place. Since I have already had a feel of Mac OS as it was good for me enough for me or no, to know you must subscribe to the channel. I will give a like to this video. So one fine day I will have the whole Apple ecosystem with me. Finally, MacBook Air feels like the way I always wanted it to be ever since I was not a fan of the wedge-shaped design for some reason. Also, I cannot comment much on the MacBook Air screen. Sure, I'm probably not sure if it would be fine for me or no. Though I was not aware Apple had bumped the screen size a bit. If at all, it's close to the MacBook Pro 14-inch, then I feel this would probably be down the line my first MacBook. Since MacBook Pro 14-inch is a sweet screen to view anything. Earlier as I said, I have used the MacBook Pro 14-inch. For some reason I do not know why, I feel I could view anything if I had it on my lap. Maybe not on the table I feel, since the screen is too small for my liking and not usable enough. I really feel the MacBook Pro screen in general are far better than I expected it to be, no matter what screen brightness you have it on. Now that the MacBook Air feels more like the MacBook Pro, I'm delighted to see the way Apple is moving with its design language as well with the whole Apple device lineup. The only thing that makes me disappointed about the MacBook Air is the baseline configuration. In no way 256 GB and 8 GB RAM should be in 2022. As to offer, I feel Apple has justified it in most ways possible. I would be looking forward to seeing the new MacBook Air in person. Now coming to the major letdown of WWDC was the iPad OS. I thought this would be best for the last, as Apple has once again made the iPad OS feel numb. What we wished to see on iPad OS, none of that we got, except a few minor updates here and there, and for those that would be useful. For me, the Files app having a major update is a welcome, since I do use the Files app time to time. I really do not know who asked for this. Now we have a full blown up weather app on the iPad, alongside these few apps coming in the future via a software update. I would rather appreciate if Apple had given us a calculator and have this weather app. I feel this Apple event felt numb on the surface level, as well no cool visuals or the sense of vibe you get while watching Apple event for these past few years. At the beginning of the video I said this Apple event should have been tighter from the horse's mouth. What I was really trying to hint was Apple has quietly accepted that iPhone 7 was not the greatest iPhone to ever exist in the iPhone lineup. This is rightfully true indeed, since I was not a fan of the iPhone 7 in general. Mainly for the way the Touch ID, I much prefer the click than have no clicks at all while using the Touch ID. As well, iPhone 7 is sluggish in its own way, since most of what it got was new at that time. Courageful in Apple's own words, as well not having a 3.5mm jack. So not getting iOS 16 on it makes totally sense from Apple's perspective. Well, iOS 16 not getting doesn't make any sense at all. Even if you look at the fact that the older iPad is getting iPadOS 16 in the lineup. In all fairness, iPhone 6 should have gotten iOS 16 and then call it a fin, at least in my humble opinion, since both iOS and iPadOS did not have any major overhaul. In fact, this whole WWDC 2022 did not have any major overhaul in the software update, except for the CarPlay, the big overhaul in my opinion. That one was really eye-catching to witness. Rest numb, at least as last year we got. I don't know why I said that, as well why I laughed at myself with MacBook Air release. Do let me know what excited you the most about this year's WWDC. Till then, this is your PoeticWhiz. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Live your